I thought I'd make a little trip down to the lake today just to see how it's looking. It was yesterday that I was at the swamp field. Here's the first piece of flint today. It's like a messy blade covered in leeches and this little shrimpy looking thing. They are better down here, the conditions. Not ideal yet. The wind's been in the wrong direction the whole time to really clean off everything. No, conditions are still pretty bad out here. That's where I filmed the clip where I found the blade, but around this corner here it's still very dirty, the water, and murky. Lovely. I wonder if I can get out towards those rocks and have a look. I'll try, but the sand might not be very stable. No, I did get out to those rocks over there on the other side, but there was just a lot of sand on the bottom. I found, I think, 3 just random waste flakes, but I thought I'd come over here onto the other side. It looks like there's a few rocks exposed over here. There might be something to find, you never know. Okay, well, the main river hotspot was actually sort of checkable today. There is a little bit of gravel and quite a lot of flakes, and this one decent find. It is in fact some kind of knife, I believe. It's bifacially napped on both sides. It's in a lovely grainy material, grainy brown. I guess it was probably hafted and this was the working edge for cutting. No idea on the date, but I would guess it's Mesolithic because most stuff down here is. Yeah, a cool find. A tool. A nice little knife. But no, I will pop this back and then I'm going to head over and have a quick look at the Field of Dreams. I think it's seeded now, sadly, but I'll walk the edges and maybe jump on and off. I mean, the sprouts haven't come up yet. It will also be extremely windy out on the field today, so it's probably not even worth going, but it might be for a find or two. Oh god, spikes. Back to the Waterworks beach again for a quick look today. I've been back and forth from the lake over the past week or so. Nothing incredible to report, but you know, I made the odd find here and there. But the water levels have gone down a fair amount, so I thought I'd come and have a quick look this morning. Still no word from the archaeologist on that strange, what I thought might be a point at the Villingbeek field last week. But I've come to the conclusion that it has to be like a double perforator. There are, you know, perforators on blades in the Congomossa culture. They're usually a bit bigger and only on one end, and they look a bit like the tang end of that one. So I guess It has to be really a kind of double perforator, double drill type affair. But you know, still a really interesting find, and well, rarer than hollow based arrowheads, to be honest, because it's the first one I've ever found in years of hunting around these parts. Another decent bladelet here in kind of light flint. Just a blade, it's lovely and thin though. Really nice and thin. Struck this way. It's a little bit blowy today, very windy. I'm down at the river hotspot. Yesterday was useless down at the waterworks. Absolute farce hunting around there, barely any flakes. This is a beautiful flake, it is just a flake. More of this really nice brown material. I really like the dorsal negatives on this as well. Would have been a broad blade bob up here. A very nice looking flake that. I just love this material. I think that you maybe can see the colours of it there. Very nice. And then there was this that arrived. It's a hammerstone. I'll let this dry out and I think you can see that hammering a bit better then. Here we go. Really interesting tiny little core tool here with a leech, token leech. Yeah, an interesting core tool, probably like a simple woodworking tool. I don't know if there might be a bit of damage just up here. Just here where it would have maybe come out a little bit further. Yeah, fun find. Here's another look at this flake and the hammerstone. Thought maybe if the flake dried you could see it a bit better, the material. It's hard to see in the sunlight, I guess. It's a beautiful flake though. Really tasty. And yeah, you can really see the hammering more now that it's dried through here. You can see an old striking platform, bit of prep up here. More hammering around this kind of corner. Yeah, a hammerstone, fun. Used for making pecked axes. Do love that flake. Right, gonna go and check the other side of the river now. Then maybe the Field of Dreams. Just popped this another core tool for the day out of the mud here. Strange one. I mean, I don't know really what these were for. I guess some kind of woodworking or, you know, some kind of axe or adze. They're not always very pretty, especially from this field, but still a cool find, you know. An intentionally shaped piece of flint. There's some kind of tool. I'll put it exactly where it came from in that little hole down there. A thing. Here's a little something that made me go ooh. Could just be a retouched blade section, but it is retouched along this edge. Yeah, it's just, I say just, it's a tool. Retouched blade, backed blade maybe. Good retouch though down that edge. Nice to find a tool. I've been finding a lot of flakes. I suppose I did find that that core axe type thing just a second ago, or a few minutes ago now, but just a second ago on the video, I dare say. Another little bladelet thing there. That was nice. I would rather it have been a big UP point though, Upper Paleolithic point, obviously. I'm over in the microlith kind of spot now, and they have appeared here, the Upper Paleo points, UP points. There's a bit of an interesting find down here. It's a microlith of some kind. It's been in a fire or been heat treated, but it's retouched just on this angled edge here. I think that is a kind of UP microlith or UP point from the Arensberg culture. So, you know, 12,000 years old. Bit of hunting gear. I don't see it as a barb. I think it could be a type of small Zonhoven point. I have found them on this field before as well. A strange one, but it's certainly retouched down this edge here. Yeah, a little upper Paleolithic bit of hunting equipment, I believe. That is cool. A proper little find. Nice. That's the first bit of probable UP that I've found for a long time. Weaponised UP, that is. I found blades. Very cool. There's a couple of finds here right next to each other. The first one is just a nice bladelet, this one. Nicely napped blade, or bladelet I should say. And the other piece was this little triangular section of flint. I'm sure you can see the retouch down that right hand lateral edge. I think that's the corner of a transverse, where it would have come out a bit like that. Looks like a contemporary break as well, so a hunting injury perhaps. Yeah, that's as close as I've got to a bollard arrowhead today. There's usually a few of them on this field, but you know, as I said, it's very dry today. Another little interesting thing here, or not so little. It's a flake from a blade core. Hard to see exactly what direction those strikes came off in this light. I'm not sure if that's not a modern farming ding down there. There might be a patina break in that scarring, but there did seem to be here. That's contemporary, so it's a a core fix type flake with faceted platform there. Yeah, a bit of a core fix flake that's then been used as a scraper briefly up on this corner. So a tool, always fun to see. It could be UP, but it's difficult to say. That is farming damage in there. I can actually see it better on the camera than I can in real life. It's pushing through to a more yellowy colour with an orange underneath this more pinky purple patina. Yeah, fun though, fun. Kind of similar to the last one down here. It's a flake from a blade core. You could even argue it's a blade. I think that's been utilised on that pointed corner there for a bit of scraping, or no, I don't think perforating. But you know, there is a few stepped scars up in there. Yeah, that one, and then this one was basically right next to it. It's a big chunky scraper with the working edge up around here. That's retouch. Yeah, big old scraper. Not the prettiest in the world with the most retouch, but a tool. Maybe used for leather prep or something. Another okay find. Gosh, I've had my phone out a few times over the last few minutes. There's another little something down here. It's a flake, kind of, that's been struck off this way. But it actually has very, very small bladelet negatives up on the end here. These used to be confused as scrapers even by the archaeological fraternity. I think you can see those blade negatives up there. This is a very short-faced, as in this distance here, Congomossa, tiny bladelet core, handled core. I can't remember if these were early or late. I think they were kind of later Congomossa. Vedbake phase, maybe. I'll put a caption in the corner. I'll ask Jürgen. It's been a while since I've spoken to Mr. Faxholm properly. Nice material as well, kind of grainy, grey-brown shirt-like stuff. Yeah, a find. Another find. Little blade here. I've come to the lake after work here. That's lovely material. Translucent flint. What are you doing, Ziggy? Yeah, I thought I'd come down and have a check because I thought the conditions were going to be really calm. Apparently not. There is a lot of flakes around down here being washed out. Found this blade. It's actually truncated at the end, retouched in there. Try and dry it off, maybe you'll see it a bit better. Really nice retouch to truncate it. Concave truncation. And probably some use wear along that top edge there. Really nice bit of use wear actually. Just pop this one here for the time being. And this, the tooth, it can't be that old though, surely not. Not looking so white like that. I guess that's a horse front tooth, maybe. Anyone that knows what this is for a tooth, let me know in the comments. Funny how it goes sometimes. Just found these two finds right next to each other. A modern rifle bullet, quite a long one, don't know the calibre. And as I say, right next to it was this, it's an arrowhead. It could be a very late Vedbake type. I think it might just be missing a portion down here at the base, but it has good retouch on the sides. I think you can see that. I might just let that dry out in my pocket and we'll have a closer look a bit later. I know where it's come from, just behind me here. An arrowhead from the lake. That's the first one this season, I guess. I've just sworn, I've just cursed out loud when I pulled this up. It's a beautiful naturally backed blade. That is a stunner. Kind of rolled cortex down this edge. Oh, that is a lovely blade. Wow. Lovely bit of Congomossa blade napping. What a stunner. And it's funny because just as I pulled that up, I looked up and saw this down here. This could be another one. This one. It's getting washed out more and more. Come on, be a lovely blade. It's not quite as straight as the last one, but it is a blade. Just took off the bottom of the core as well on this one. Strange. The bulb has been broken off somehow. It looks contemporary as well. I wonder why. Wow, there's lots of flakes. That's a strange flake. A square. Another flake. Wow. Oh dear, oh dear. We're in blade country down here now. Another nice one. Come on, something worked. Something properly worked. I did see something down here that looked a bit interesting, but I don't think it's flint. Oh wow, it's actually an old pocket knife. It's an old pocket knife. Look at that. Wow. I think that's just rust that's flaked off, so that can stay down there. Oh no, it's falling to bits. Wow. Yeah, that's just all rust. The blade is completely gone. And I'm just left with the two handles here. I guess that's copper in there. Might be two copper handles. I'm just going to pop this to the side. I might give that a clean up at home. This one down here has a lot of potential to be a transverse. Can you see that shape? That surely is one. If it's not, I'm going to be disappointed now. Oh gosh. Oh, it's a beauty. This is 2 videos in a row now where all the good stuff's come at the end. That is a stunning transverse. Beautiful patina with the blues and the whites. Oh, get in. I'll let this one dry out as well. I'll show you again. I guess it will go a lot more white when it's dry. You can really see the retouch there already. Oh, that is an absolute stunner. I'm really pleased with that. Beautiful to see. It's kind of chunky on the side profile compared to some, but you know, not extreme levels of chunkiness. I was just about to talk about how the flakes had kind of dried up a bit further down the beach here, and then I hit this little hot spot of fines. There's a little bladelet and very white flint, so that was fun. Struck in this direction. And then what would have been a lovely scraper, just get it dry. What would have been a lovely scraper, wow, if it wasn't broken here. Can't really see the ripples on it, but I guess it was struck in this direction. They're usually retouched at the distal. Maybe it's a side scraper of some kind. But yeah, you've seen the retouch now. I think it would have been, you know, discoidal. And kind of arguably the most interesting find is this one. That's the first piece of prehistoric pottery I found on this side of the river. It's very dark. There's very small bits of temper in there and then quite a large piece of temper. Temper is the kind of aggregate stuff that they smashed up and mixed with the clay. That could be a shell or something in there. Very dark, as I say, compared to some that I do find on the other side of the river. Quite a large chunk as well, probably 4 centimetres, 5 centimetres along this part here, 4.5. Perhaps. I'm in my work trousers, I could measure it, but can't be bothered. A nice piece. Right, I'm going to make my way back now towards this way, drop off the arrowheads, but I'll show you before I put them back. Yeah, fun to see, fun to see. So interesting out here, so interesting. Oh, an orange flake, that's the first one of those I've found. It's almost all blue and white out here, this far out in the lake when the water drops. Oh, what's this? A burned piece of a flake. I hadn't walked 5 paces and there's another piece of prehistoric pottery here. It's got a kind of colour on this side. You can see another big chunk of temper in that lighter area. Token leech on the end. Yeah, wow, another dark piece. I wonder if that's from the same vessel. Wow. Incredible to think that someone put that together thousands of years ago, you know. Blows my mind. I'm just making my way back to where I found those 2 arrowheads, and I was just thinking about pulling them out and having a closer look when I bent down and picked this up. It's yet another transverse arrow. Very pointy tang on this one. Good retouch though. That's 3 now. Absolutely incredible. This is a very good spot out here when it does start, you know, producing. I'll dry this one out as well. It could have seen time in a fire, this one, maybe. Wow. Okay, I've given it a thorough look out here now, I think. Or not maybe thorough, but I've given it a good look. I did find this other piece. It's some kind of backed knife. That's, gosh, it's very hard to see in this light, but it's retouched from both the ventral and the dorsal there, along that edge. It's actually the striking platform, but it has been retouched. It's very difficult to see it. I do appreciate that. Anyway, backing, I guess, for a cutting flake. Cutting like this. Fun find, a tool. And then here's the 3 arrowheads. Try and show them one by one. Difficult to see the retouch on this one on that side. You can see it a bit better there, maybe. Yeah, a bit of a funky transverse. Here's another look at this very light coloured one. Again, it's so difficult to see it in this light flint. And it's getting dark now, or darker. Can I just catch that in the light? There, just about. A bit shaky. Anyway, this is the best one. The bigger of the 3. I'll just put these other ones in my pocket so I can put them back where they came from. Are they in? Yep. This is the best one. What a beautiful transverse. Station road type. Completely complete. No breaks at the base or anything. Yeah, really nice retouch on this one. There you can see it nicely. I've just dropped the exposure down a bit. Maybe you can see the retouch a bit better. I don't know. There's not really much more to say about it or to see on it, I guess. It's just a lovely transverse. And I was very happy to find it. Yeah, Ertabolla culture for all of these 3, I would imagine. Late Mesolithic. No, there's still pieces coming out. I really wanted to go and check over on the main hotspot as well. Oh my word. Oh, that is such a beautiful blade. I really hoped for a second there was retouch on that angled edge there. What a stunning blade. I mean, there's a bit of a curve on it compared to some, but just incredible blade napping. Nice material. Look at this. Oh, I might go through and delete some of the kind of rubbish footage in the video here. Otherwise it's going to be really long. I'm finding so much this evening. I already had, I think, about 25 minutes of footage. And I was going to tell you about some pieces I have at home that I got from Spain. Another lovely, beautiful blade, look. Dark blue flint. Tiny little blade, look. Oh my gosh. Another lovely blade here. I mean, it's a bit chunky on the side profile. Probably from some early core work. Still a beautifully napped flake though, long flake. What way was it struck? There's no bulb up here. No, that's the distal, so it's missing the proximal as well, so that would have been longer. My gosh. There's too much to find here. I really wanted to get over to the river hotspot as well. Gosh, just a handful of flakes. I'm going to have to call it over here now before I run out of light for the other side of the river. But it's so fascinating over here. Oh my word, I'm still here. I just pulled this up. Look, it's retouched all down this edge. Really invasive, almost backing. Like retouched down that edge, and then it's truncated at an angle here. What was this, I wonder? I mean, it's probably just some kind of knife affair. Yeah, retouched to a point. I'm not going to call it like a point or something though. That's the original blade edge there. Oh, let me see here. Which end is which? I think this is the proximal up here, so it's missing the distal. Must be that. But what a stunning little thing. A proper tool. I don't think it's weaponised flint. I think it's maybe a knife, perforator, scribe kind of thing. Maybe. I really have no idea, but it's always very hard to know what these strange tools were. They didn't make them all to a pattern, like the points and stuff. Just what they needed. Wow. No, come on, let's get over to the river hotspot now. It's really getting dark now. Oh, I need to check up this end first, I guess. There's some Billingbake points pop out of here. I'm just going to give it the quickest blast through. A flake. Or a quick handful of blades, or a couple of blades, I should say, not a handful. Oh gosh, that one's got use wear all down that edge, I think. I mean, this one can go. You've seen better today already. Oh, that's retouch or use wear all through there. My gosh. A tool of some kind. I'm sure you can see that use wear through there. Or fine retouch. Just a bit too consistent to be lake chatter, I would say. Lovely material as well. But there was a bone down here, I thought. Big one. Is it? No, it's a stick. Never mind, it just looked like a bone. Is that the one I just dropped? Yeah, they can live down there together. I feel so rushed. What's that one? A stick. No, we're off to the river hotspot. This was all water here. The last time I was here, I think I avoided this part. I had to walk all the way around it. It's really dropped a lot again. Oh, this sand is very soft. There might be something good out here for me tonight, but it is pushing it for time now. I'm just going to go mad and check flakes, I think. That's never a little axe thing down here, is it? What's this? No. God, it's the right kind of material though. Odd one. Oh my dear, straight into a handle blade core. Like a half a second after I turn the camera off. There's a bit of algae on the right hand side there, but there's some nice blade negatives down it. Very skinny platform. Lovely negatives there. Look at those. One really long one that goes down this close to this edge. Yep, fun. Next. Oh, look at the band of whatever that is through that flake. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of on the edge of the hotspot now. Most of it's dry, but there's a lot of kind of dead plant stuff kicked over the gravel. And then if you go further to my left here, you can see what happens to the water. I'm not going to see anything through that. Yeah, I might head over back to where I was a minute ago. I think that might just be that, a little bit more productive. But at least I got down here, so now I know. It is getting increasingly dark now. No, that was fun though, out here. Very fun. I've probably got almost enough footage for a video just from tonight. Incredibly. What a crazy dog. Had enough? Come on then. Yeah, that's it for me tonight. Oh dear. After a long day at work as well. Ziggy's got plenty of energy there. What a nutter. It is the morning after down here. My gosh, it's foggy, but it's also very calm on the water. Oh, I wish I had time to have a proper hunt. I'm on my way to work. I wanted to come down and grab that knife handle because I completely forgot about that yesterday in my rush to get over the other side. But there was also another artifact that I left on a rock because I wasn't so sure about it. But I wanted to have another look at it when it dried out. So let's see if we can find that. Oh, there's lots of rocks that it could be on. Ah, there's the knife. So at least I know where that one is. Ah, here, this one. I mean, it's just a piece of schiffer, but I just thought it was a funny shape. And I really wanted to come down and have another look at this. I was thinking about it this morning. Now, if you look at the edge there, if I can catch the light on it, there seems to be kind of consistent marks along it, which is a bit unusual, I would say. I don't know, it was just an interesting shape as well. Kind of edge down here that maybe shouldn't really be there. Yeah, I don't know, that could be a slate knife. It's very dark, hard to see. Maybe I'll have another look at it in the sunlight another day. I'll just put it back by this rock here and go and grab the knife. I'm just having an extremely fast walk out here. I'll probably have about 3 minutes in the water, and then I have to run if I don't want to be late for work. Oh, working for the man. Hate it. Never mind. What's this? Bit of wood. No, I also realised last night that I didn't really give like my outro chat. It is incredibly cold out here this morning. I wish I'd worn my glove now. Just found these, well, a blade and a tiny little bladelet. This I definitely missed yesterday. It was hard to see today with the water so calm. But now I must run and get to work, unfortunately. But thanks for watching, as always. It wasn't as bad as I kind of thought. You know, I mentioned earlier that I'm making all the good finds at the end of the video. I found some Courtauls. I was watching it back last night, so it wasn't all, you know, wasn't all terrible. But no, it's been fun. These last couple of hunts down here and over at the Field of Dreams actually made some nice finds. For a minute there, it was very slow for the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 hunts. A couple of weeks ago now, I guess that was. But yeah, I'll make a slow walk out of here, back to the car and drive maybe just slightly over the speed limit to work. Just slightly though. No, that's a shell. I thought that could be bone. No, right, must run, must run. Yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.